Okay, are we live? Are we live? I have no idea. I have no idea if we're live. Are we live? What a mess. Idaho here. What's happening? Homestead education is in the house. I see you. Okay, great. Hello from South Point, Ohio. Can't see or hear anything. Hey, I see you now. Hi, Zach. Okay, good deal. All right, we're live. Excellent. Yeah, what a mess. Like, YouTube changed everything in, like, their setup for the live podcasting or broadcasting, whatever you call it. So I don't understand. I mean, I went back and the way we used to do streaming before, it's all changed. I haven't done this in such a long time. And so, man, I'm sorry. I didn't even try to work in the music and everything else because I was like, what in the world? How? I mean, it's just everything has changed in here, it seems like. And they keep trying to tell me, like little pop-ups show up, hey, let's show you this. And I'm like, no, I don't need that. So, a stream bitrate of 2500 kbps. So yeah, my bitrate's too high. I wonder if I can change that midstream. I don't know if I can do that or not. Let me hit apply, hit OK. That might be why. Okay, it just turned to green. So, okay, maybe that's going to help out a lot. All right. Okay. Well, I'm trying to get back into the swing of doing some live streams, and I'm sorry I haven't been around lately, and we'll get back into doing that. And it was a mess to try to get YouTube to work with this again, but it looks like it's working. Anyway, hey, so I figured we talk today about the election. What's going to happen with the election? I have no idea. We're going to wait and see. But I just wanted to kind of talk with the crowd and see what the possibilities could be. We'll do a giveaway tonight. I have a trivia question. And the giveaway tonight's going to be a Sensei tree pruner. Really nice tree pruner. I don't know if you can see that. The Sensei tree pruner. Really nice. I use this. We have one of these, and it's an extra one. We get things sent, every so often, and this is going to be a giveaway. So I have a box of giveaways that I keep in the storage, and every once in a while I go back and grab something. And I'm like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. A trivia question later tonight, but then we're also going to talk about knife sharpening. So a friend of mine locally has been like, hey, so when are you going to do your video on knife sharpening? And I keep telling him I'm going to do it, but I never do it. And so tonight we're going to do it. I'm going to show you what I use to sharpen knives. I actually have a guy coming over tomorrow to do butchering for one of our rams. And so I had a number of rams that we needed to offload, and I put the word out, and like within a day they were all gone. So I let the patrons have first crack at them, and I think one of the patrons grabbed one. For some reason, I don't think Patreon sends out all of our patrons notices when we put something out. I'm not sure if it does or doesn't, because we didn't get a huge response from that, and I thought I'd sell them all out to the patrons. But anyway, it seemed like one of the patrons grabbed one, and then I put them on YouTube, and everyone else grabbed all the others. So this person, I think, is coming from Kentucky tomorrow. Kentucky. So we have someone coming all the way to Kentucky for one of our ram lambs. It's just about a year old. They're getting pretty big, and they're just about ready for butchering. And so I got to sharpen some knives. And how I do that is with this thing here called the Smiths. It's a brand name. And this was invented by a guy, I believe, in the Ozarks. And so I was first told about this by a guy down the road from us who lives here. His name's Vaude. Some of you have met Vaude. If you've been around here at all, at any point, for a few days, whatever, chances are you may have met Vaude. You either met him on the road, or you've driving down the dirt road, or you met him at our place. But Vaude was the one who turned me on to this thing, and I think it's fantastic, and for sharpening knives. But then there was another guy local who was an ex-game warden who Vaude knows because he's arrested Vaude on a few occasions. everyone around here knows everybody. So, that guy, he knows the guy who invented this. And he actually, I think, went to school with them. And these are sold in Walmarts, especially, I mean, maybe Walmart's nationwide, I'm not sure, but Walmart's around here. And the guy who invented this, I think he lives now in Missouri, but he grew up going to local area. I was just reading some of the comments. He was going to some of the local schools here. So the guy locally here went to school with the guy who invented this. So this thing has a little bit of a history here with the Ozarks. And if you don't know how this works, it's pretty simple. There's a coarse side and a fine side. So this is the coarse side and then the fine side. And basically a diamond plate, and you just run your blade over it. And it takes a little bit of practice to get used to, but I'm pretty good with it. And then I switch it over to the fine side. Now, normally I do this under the sink, so I get the pan wet, and then I run it over a little bit. You can spit on it too, but I'm not going to do that on camera. And then you run your blade over it. Fine. And then as I go, I get lighter and lighter, and it seems to get the edge down to almost like a razor finish. That's pretty good. It's pretty sharp. I don't have any paper here to show you, but I'd probably work on it a little bit more. But that's how I do it. And I don't know, I've tried a lot of different sharpening systems over the years. And one of my favorites over the years was one called the Warthog. And it was like this thing where you just ran your knife through and it is separated and it came back together on springs. That was really good. I always thought it did a great job. It was a little high maintenance though. So you see how I'm just doing that. So I just run it down the edge. Like that. If I can show you that. And switch over to fine. He goes a lot slower, Vaude does. He's real slow, and then he has a leather strop that he runs it off of too. But I just run it real quick, and it does a really fine job. That's pretty sharp. That'll be perfect for tomorrow. I've got a ram to butcher. I also have a pocket knife that I keep in my pocket, my daily carry. It's spring assisted, and I will run this on. In fact, this needs it because it hasn't been sharpened in a while, probably for a month or so. And I use this like for Jamie has a bunch of high-end Shun knives for cooking, and I'll use them on that too. And holds an edge fantastic on those knives. Each one of those knives is like $100. I bought that for her birthday, and so but it's really good on that. When we first got that knife, she was like, I think we need to send these in to get them professionally sharpened every so often, because people do that for the Shuns. The cooks and the chefs who use them, they'll send them in to get sharpened. And I said, you know what, let me just try this thing, and it works fantastic. So I've been doing that ever since. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, the razor's edge. If you're interested in something like that, it takes a little bit of practice. There's lots of videos out there on these things to give you step-by-step instructions on how to use them, just showing you what I use. And some people have different methods. They go slower, they go faster, but it's basically just a diamond plate, a coarse side. So this is the coarse side. It's got the yellow. You can kind of see the yellow. And then more of the pinkish orange side for this side. And this is the fine side. Very simple. Very, very simple. So there you go. That's how I sharpen my knives. People were asking. There you go. All right, so why don't we just go ahead before we get into the election stuff, and I'll go into the chat room for this to see what you all think. But we'll go into the trivia. When we talk about the election, I'll go into there too, and so we'll see what you guys think. Wow, what a mission to get there. Several times I had to go to your channel to find this live stream again. Yeah, you know, I'm sorry, guys. The YouTube just really changed everything, and I have not done a live stream in a while, but I think I got the hang of it, of how they changed everything. It's not like anything before, so I don't know how I'm gonna kind of do this with. Yeah, I mean, I guess I do kind of have an idea now that I'm looking at their dashboard. I wish I could show you. Can I get the camera off and show you my dashboard? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's just going to be, maybe I can take a picture. It's just different. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just different. And it's not going to be, it's just going to be something I'm going to have to experiment with and play with and see what I can see how I can figure it out. It just doesn't look anything like it used to. It says a clean lens makes for a better picture, Zach. Yeah, you can see that. That's my dashboard right now. That's what it just looks different than what it did before. And so everything was out of place, and so I was kind of like, man, what do I do here? Yeah, Homestead Education got one of these too. I see guys who are patrons carrying these around because we sent these out to our patrons about a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. And so, yeah, we need to do that again. These are really good knives. I really enjoyed carrying it, and it holds an edge really good for the most part. And so, someone says, Dustin, I guess they have they think it was tattoo sleeves. I'm like, no, they're not tattoos. They're just, it's like a hunting thing. I saw it at Walmart, and I ordered it, or I bought it, and this was a while back when it was still summer, and I was like, you know, that'd be good for fall. So the Sensei shears. These are awesome shears, guys. Awesome shears. Sensei. Who's your sensei? All right, so the trivia question, and the first person who gets it right gets it. So I know I won't mention. I'll mention Retree. I promise. I have it written down in my notes. Sensei. So first person who gets it right wins the Sensei. So get your Google fingers ready, because most of you probably won't know the answer to this. Most of you probably won't. We're going to do a video on it. I'm not going to show it to you tonight, but we'll do a video on it later this week probably. So the first person who can tell me in the chat room what a hobo handline is. First person who can tell me in the chat room what a hobo handline is gets the Sensei. What is a hobo handline? I'm waiting. I gotta watch careful because it may go fast. What is a hobo handline? Hobo handline. I can never have too many. No Google. So censoring, I know. A stick. No, that doesn't work. It doesn't count. Garden hose. No. Fishing string. Fishing setup. I'll go with that. Fishing setup. Lantern. Knife. Fishing pole. I'm out. Fishing. I will go with Sarah Hoskins. You're right, but Conrad Homestead got it first. So Conrad Homestead, you got it. Congratulations, Conrad Homestead. You're the first one to get it. He said fishing setup, and that's basically what it is, a fishing setup. I'll go with that. I think that counts. Right, so stay tuned. Later this week, we're going to do a video on it. Caleb, Grandpa Looters, made one for Caleb, and he's so excited about it. He was showing me it today, and he was just really happy. And so we'll do a video on it. It's really neat how Tim made it, and so we'll talk. We'll do a video on that later this week. And Caleb is really excited about his bug out bag. He put together a bug out bag. He's all into about bugging out. I don't know where he's going to go because we're about as far out as you're going to get. So, yeah. So the hobo handline. Stay tuned for that video coming up this week. We'll try to have that out. I told him I'd probably be able to record it by Wednesday. So, Conrad Homestead. You need to contact me over at anamericanhomestead.com. Go to the contact page. The contact form over there does work. Please send me your address, Conrad Homestead, and I will get the sensei out to you. So, Conrad Homestead, congratulations on that. All right. The election. What is up with this election? What's going to happen? We're going to go and we're going to read some of the. We'll just have a conversation here. I mean, this is the most intense election I have ever experienced. I can't imagine what is in store for us over the next few weeks. I just judging by, and here's the deal. I said, I'm wrong on a lot of things before. I said the Cubs would never win the World Series, and the Cubs won the World Series. I said I thought Mitt Romney was going to win the election, against Obama, and nope, he lost. So I said, I think Trump's going to win this election. I do, and I hope I don't believe in jinxing him, but no candidate loses when there's that many people turning out for his appearances. He is an amazing celebrity, and there's so many thousands of people turning out for him. I can't imagine him losing that election. But if he does, and the way I see what I see happening is that I see on election night or the day after the election, depending on when they want to call this, that the media, the mainstream media, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, the mainstream liberal media will just call it for Biden no matter what happens. I mean, it could be a complete landslide in Trump's direction, and they'll still call it for Biden. That's what I think. I mean, that's what I see in this scenario, because they're like, Nancy Pelosi came out the other day and says, it doesn't matter what happens, we're Biden's going to win. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean like you're going to call it that these news agencies are going to call it for Trump no matter what? If it's a complete landslide in Trump's direction and they call it anyway for Biden, what happens at that point? I don't know. But that I see that as a distinct possibility. That Trump wins it, and it doesn't matter because they still call it for Biden. So you tell me. You tell me if I'm off base on that. I just think that that's what they'll do. So I don't know. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think that I think maybe at least a couple nights, couple days before they have a determination on who, because they got all these mail-in ballots. Who knows what's going to happen with that. All right, so let's some of you guys saying, Patriot Nurse, hey, how you doing? That's cool. I dig the shirt. Yes, I love the shirt. Sorry yet met call. There's only been 5 presidents who didn't get elected to a second term. Yeah, I don't know. Really? Is that only that few? I think there was more than that. Election will fix nothing. Whoever wins, we have a spiritual problem, not a political one. I totally agree. It's going to implode after Trump wins. Totally possible. First time I haven't voted for a third-party presidential candidate. Yeah, I didn't vote for Trump first time around. I didn't vote for him because I had believed, I was so upset with Bush and what happened with him, and I told myself I could never vote for a politician who'd been on the cover of Playboy magazine, twice? And then he went ahead and did what he did to Planned Parenthood, and so many Planned Parenthoods closed down, including the one that we used to protest down here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, or Springdale, Arkansas. I think it's in Fayetteville, really. But there's so many Planned Parenthood. I mean, he did things. When he said he was going to do things, he did them, and that won my vote. I mean, he won my vote at that point. But he had to prove himself. And so I will come out and vote for him this time. And I think there's lots of people like me who were like, you know what? I'm so sick of this. I don't want any part of it. And this time they've been impressed, and I think they're going to come out and vote for him. And again, you look at the crowds. He comes out, and there's like 20,000 people. People were standing in the cold getting hypothermia, and they were happy to do it. And the media is all like, Trump, dismayed his supporters by, leaving them out in the cold. No, they were like fine. They were like, whatever. I just want to come see Trump. Anytime you have a crowd that has that kind of fervor, it's unlikely that he loses. But again, what if they just come out and they say, you know what, we're just calling it for Biden? What are they going to do? What can they do? Is there like an electoral college enforcement team that's going to come out and be like, no, Trump got the electoral votes, he wins? I don't know. I mean, the media is supposed to tell everyone who won. And if the media says, we'll just tell everyone Biden won, and they can collude that way, don't think they can't. They have before. So, I mean, you can watch the mainstream media and you can see their talking points. They're all the same. Someone's writing that script for them. So MSNBC, CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, they're all the same. They all have the same script. They all have the same talking points. Who's writing that note for them? Who's writing that script? Someone is. So if that script comes up today and says, call it for Biden, what happens? I don't know. A civil war. Deborah Fagan says a civil war. Yeah, I'm probably more looting. We love our orange man. I voted for Trump in 2016 because I wanted someone who wasn't a politician. I saw the light. I'll vote proudly for him again. Yeah, Trump is president until January, no matter what. Hi from South Carolina. Start stacking your food. I've been doing that for years. Can they do that? I don't know, Marcy, maybe. I'm just saying, what if? I mean, to me, it doesn't, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility, for sure. Supreme Court. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, if it goes to the Supreme Court and the new judge, oh man. Reconnection successful. Okay, I think so there was some sort of issue. Buffering. Are we back? Let me know if we're back. Can you hear me again? Man, I do not like this. I do not like this new YouTube setup. Maybe it's not new for some of you guys, but I mean, for me, it's like totally new since I've been doing this. Okay, again. All right, I'm back. All right, good deal. It's not going to be good either way. So my youngest son Caleb came in the room the other day and says, "So Zach, or not?" He says, "So Dad, who are you voting for in the election?" I said, "Biden." He's like, "Nuh-uh." I'm like, "Yeah, huh? I'm voting for Biden." He's like, "Nuh-uh." Okay, we're back. Back to you, Zach. Buffering happens. Now it's laggy. I don't know what's going on with the creator side. I don't know. It's like I don't like this new setup that I haven't done streaming in like forever. And I come on tonight, I'm like, I'm gonna do a stream on the election, and everything's just messed up, and it doesn't. It's all new to me, so it's all changed compared to how they used to do it. That's all. It's all new to me. How far do you have to drive to vote? I have to drive. Well, so they had all these little polling places, like little churches and just different places throughout our county. I mean, our county is like 2,500 square miles of dirt road. We are like in the middle of nowhere. And so a little one-room church schoolhouse could, that's out in the middle of nowhere could be a voting place. And that's the way it's been for, 100 years out here. Well, just this last election, they ended that. And now they have 4 or 5 voting places in the whole county. And I'm like, what? You mean I have to drive all the way over there to vote? And so I think I have to drive about a half hour to 45 minutes. I'm not sure. Because I could drive to the courthouse, which is only about a half hour away, but I think I have to go somewhere else now if I'm going to vote on election day. I blame the Russians for the buffering and everything. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to bring up Wheatree because normally you see Wheatree Bonsai in here, and I had it in my notes to bring her up. So some of you guys know Wheatree Bonsai. She passed away maybe a month ago or more. I just got the news a couple weeks ago, and Weetree Bonsai was one of the moderators for the channel, and her husband both passed away. And I guess it was some sort of accident. I guess she was. I had talked to her in the past, and I knew she was not feeling very well. She had some medical issues, and obviously her husband did too. And I guess she fell. The way when the authorities found them, supposedly she had fell and couldn't get up. And I don't know if it was down the stairs or something, or I don't know what it was, but she had fell, and her husband, I think, had tried to help her, and he had fallen in the process of trying to help her, and neither of them could get up, and they found them that way. So it's just a horrible, horrible way to pass. And yes, Weetree, Marcy Brody, Weetree Bonsai. She and her husband were found passed away about a month ago, or something like that. Dustin Wells has been the one who's been giving me all the information. I didn't know anything. I guess it kind of spread around around YouTube amongst some of the other channels, because she was involved in a lot of different channels, and she was moderator for a number of channels, small ones and even big ones. And she had been a long time fan of An American Homestead, and so I wanted to mention her and just let everyone know that, keep her family in your prayers if you could. That would be good, and she will be missed. She will be missed, and she was very much appreciated. So, Weetree Bonsai. Yeah, I can tell a lot of you guys know her in the comments section. You'd seen her before, and probably in my chat rooms when we did this. We used to do. Me and Jamie would do our streams. She was always in the chat rooms and moderating, and sometimes I had to tell her to calm down. She would get a little too overzealous with the wrench. So she would ban people pretty easy. And I'm okay. I mean, I'm pretty laid back when it comes to my chat room. I don't care if you get a little out of line. I don't care if you get a little passionate. Just don't. My biggest thing is don't spam and don't overly use curse words. I mean, I get some people have a mouth on them. I was in the infantry, right? So it's like, man, they take profanity to a new art level. It's a new science how they do profanity in the infantry, but you can go overboard. So that's the only thing I care about. As long as you don't spam and you don't go overboard with your profanity. Overzealous with the wrench. Yeah, she was like that. She had the band hammer, and she was not afraid to use it. She was a sassy grandma. Yeah, Dustin, she was. Very sassy grandma. Okay. So anyway, I have to drive about an hour or a half hour to town, and then I think if I'm not mistaken, some of you guys, Dustin, where are you going to vote? You can comment below, because I know Dustin's in my county. Because Trump will win with 308 electoral college votes. 308. I don't own any Spam. I don't think I can eat Spam. I don't know what's in Spam. I don't think I've ever eaten Spam, actually. I don't think I've even, I mean... I'm reading some of these comments. For the first time, I'm not taking my kids with me to vote, even in my small town. I don't trust that the wackos won't show up with wacko tactics. I don't know. I have no idea. I voted early, JD Good says. Yeah. Dustin says he voted early at the courthouse. See, that's what most people have done, but I have not voted yet. Vaude, who we talked about, has not voted yet. And so he's the guy who told me about this knife sharpener. He is going to vote on Tuesday. Like, I'm going to go vote on Tuesday, but I think we have to go somewhere else. I don't think we can go to we can't go to the courthouse. Hinesville. We have to go to Hinesville. That's like, I don't want to go. I mean, maybe I will, because I have to go. I'm going to go to town anyway that day, so I may go to Hinesville and vote. I guess I can go anywhere. They said I can go to any of the 4 places. But anyway, the thing that's sad about this is that all of these little, because out here, you still have like these little hamlets and these little villages and these little places that are just off the beaten path. And all of those now that have been voting places for 100 years or more they're closed. They've closed them down to do these new mass voting places. And I don't like it. I fear change. What's that? Remember Wayne's World, Garth? He said, "It's time for a change." And then Garth says, I fear change. That's definitely me. I fear change. So you won't, Zach. Well, I won't what? You may have to go south. No, I'm not going to go to St. Paul. That's way too far. I don't know. I'll find a polling place somewhere. I mean, I could just do like a Democrat does and just go vote early. I should have done that. Vote early, vote often. I'll just go to every single one I can find and just vote. If Jamie was a Democrat, she could vote too. Just being honest, right? She would laugh. Anyway, so get yourselves one of these Smitties. This is what I use for all my knife sharpening. I really like it. And I got a lamb to butcher tomorrow. Well, it's a lamb. He's not really so little anymore. He is definitely a big boy. And the guy coming in is from Kentucky. I think he actually knows Patriot Nurse. I talked to him on the phone. Patriot Nurse, I think he knows you. I forget. I don't know. I'm not going to give his name on the video, but he's coming in to butcher a lamb tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to the conversation. I talked to him on the phone. I think he owns his own business. And he's a nice guy to talk to, and so I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow with him and getting that. He's going to bring a cooler. We'll cooler it up, and he'll be back on the road. He said he wants to get back home before it gets crazy after the election. And you never know. It might get nuts. Hot dog, I won the award for nasty mystery meat. Spam, am I a joke to you? I have no idea what you're saying. I know of whom you speak. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He just told me a little bit on the phone, so I will talk more tomorrow, I guess. 2 years ago, we went to the courthouse, and they told us we had to go to Hinesville because of how they divide the county. Well, I think it's changed now for 2020. I think you can go to any of the 4 or 5 polling places. They'll have the rolls for all of them, which makes me wonder, how are they knowing if I don't go to each one and vote multiple times, unless it's like electronic. It may be electronic now. So I don't know how that's going to work. I guess I could vote multiple times. If I was a Democrat, I might do that. That's what Democrats do. Are you still going to do a video on butchering the lamb? No, because I don't think the deal is, listen, I'm not butchering it. They are. That's the whole point of this whole deal, is that they're going to butcher the lamb. And I don't know if they would be uncomfortable being on camera. A lot of people don't like being on camera. Most people I've talked to don't like being on camera. So I'm going to instruct, they're going to butcher, and that way they're going to learn. Because if I do it all, you don't learn anything. You learn by doing. Experience brings wisdom. So you need that experience. So my deal is, okay, you come here, you're going to get a really good, nice size ram. It's not going to be too big. It's a heritage breed. If you want a really big, giant, fat ram, you got to get a commercial breed. But those things are all drugged up. So you're going to get a heritage ram, and you're going to do the work, and I'm going to stand over your shoulder, and I'm going to instruct you with every step of the way so that you do it right, and you're going to take home a really nice product at the end of the day. And so, it'll be good. That's how it's going to work. Are you going to try to have a live stream election party? I don't know. That might be fun, but I don't know. That might be fun. We're not going to know that night, are we? Do you think we're really going to know Tuesday night? My Homestead education, they want confusion. Maybe. Yeah, they voted early and they looked us up on laptops, Baxter County. Okay. Okay, so maybe that's how it's all going to be electronic. So that's why they have the 4 places, because the little like the little church up here where we used to vote, it was like a little 1-room church schoolhouse type thing that did not have internet. Okay, these other places down the road, where there's like a 1-room schoolhouse voting place, that doesn't have internet. So that's they probably put them in these places where they have internet. They can have all connected, and they can, when someone comes in to vote, they can just mark you off, and it's marked off across the board everywhere. So I don't like the camera, but I'm in front of it often. I would join. I need a good drinking game. Let's see, all over northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri. What about a Zoom party for election night? Depends. See, I've done Zoom for business. I don't know how you would do Zoom with that many people. I guess you could. I mean, I guess they do it for schools. Did anyone watch the debate? Second debate was actually better. I thought the second debate was canceled. Oh, you're talking about the last debate, probably. But I'm going to shoot you a Patreon message. No problem. Shoot me a Patreon message. And but yeah, he's supposed to be here 8:30 tomorrow. 8:30 tomorrow morning. We are going to be. This is actually my favorite knife. It's a fishing knife. This is what I use for butchering. And I do that because I like how it's curved. And the reason I like this knife the best is when you go down the stomach, because you have to be really careful that you don't cut the stomach contents, because then it really mess. And so what I do is I skin the, or I'll skin the animal without field dressing it first, and then I dress it afterwards. So most of you guys who have done deer hunting, I can only talk about this. I can't show anything because YouTube would ban me. When you deer hunt, you usually shoot the deer and then you field dress it right there, and you leave the gut pile and you take the deer. Okay. And that's normally what I do also. However, when I do sheep, I don't do that. I bring them in, I hang them up, and then I will completely skin the animal and leave the stomach contents, everything inside. And then after that, then I will pierce up near its groin and just zip it down all the way down to the chest cavity. And then the chest cavity, everything comes out. Okay. And I like this knife because it's curved. I can put it in there and I can use my fingers, and I bring it in and it just zips right down, and I don't have anything to worry about. It's really sharp at the point. I don't know why. I mean, I've seen people use smaller knives. A small knife works fine too, but I don't know why. I just like this one. And it's good for ringing the legs. So it's just been my butchering knife for years. It's a fishing knife. And I mean, it's a fishing knife. It's got this hollow thing on the end so that when you drop it in the water, it floats. And so it's orange, or it used to be orange. It's kind of sun. Yeah. So you can kind of see it floating in the water so it doesn't get away from you. But it's a fishing knife. And I'll use other knives too, but that's been my butchering knife for years. You have a ranch. What kind? I have cattle ranch. I wouldn't call it a ranch. I mean, I guess it's a homestead. I wouldn't call it a ranch. Not sure. I was getting ready to watch a video at the Patriot Nurse, but Zach popped up. I love at Patriot Nurse, but watching her breaks my heart. I'm not sure why. Hey, Brother Zach, when you think you can come to MNLT, Indiana? I don't know what mountain is it mountain? MNLT, Indiana? I don't know. Let me know. Invite me. Is that to speak or something else? By the way, we went down to Huntsville, and surprisingly, there were quite a few Democrat signs in Huntsville. Yeah, Huntsville's like Huntsville is very liberal. The town. I mean, the paper there, the newspaper there is, my goodness, like those people are just brain dead. that newspaper, and they wonder why they don't sell any papers. I'm like, well, chances are it's because your county is a deep red county, and you're a bright blue paper, and you're not going to sell papers. It's like, come on, no one's going to buy that. Not here. No one's going to buy that junk. You got to know your audience. I mean, man, I've been in sales, early on in my 20s, I was in sales. You're just not going to sell any papers that way. But yeah, Huntsville is very, very liberal. And I think it's because mostly Eureka Springs is like, Eureka Springs, can I say this? Eureka Springs is like the San Francisco of the Ozarks. Okay. Nice town. So is San Francisco. It's got lots of nice things, restaurants and some amazing things to see there, some wineries there. But, so does San Francisco. It's a nice place to visit. And I did. So is San Francisco. But it is liberal as Nancy Pelosi is liberal. And a lot of Eureka Springs bleeds into, even though it's in a different county, it's just north of us, and it bleeds into Huntsville. And so I think that's why Huntsville's so bright blue. Even the people who run for political office in Huntsville, they usually do so and win by not declaring a party because they don't want to vote Democrat. They don't want to declare themselves Democrat, but they know that if they declare themselves Republican, they might not get elected. It's pretty sad. Thanks for the shout out. Just fueled up. I will overnight in Hollister. See you in the AM. I guess okay. That's D Prepper. I'm not gonna mention your name, but yeah. All right. See you in the morning. I live in Memphis. It's mostly Biden, but when I see a Trump sign, it's always a huge flag or something. Makes me smile. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's same with Memphis. You go to Memphis. Man, I remember the first time I visited Memphis, and we were going to Graceland. We were going to Graceland in Memphis, and I just could not believe. I go there. You drive through Memphis, and it looks like Beirut, Lebanon. And you pull up to Graceland, and it's like this beautiful park, manicured lawns, gigantic walls around all of it. And most of the walls, at least on the sides, down the road, are spray painted with graffiti. The ones near the entrance were nice and pristine. They probably keep those clean. But at least when I visited. But yeah, Graceland was beautiful. But it's like, it looks like it's in Beirut, everything around it. Oh, Beirut in the 1980s, man. That's what it looked like. Yeah, there's a lot of witchcraft there. There's a lot of tarot card reading things there in Eureka Springs. Yeah, it's the San Francisco of the Ozarks. Yeah, very much. Yeah, San Francisco of the Ozarks. But they got good wineries, just like San Francisco. Good wineries. There's a lot of good wine in the Ozarks. A lot of good wine. It's the thing, wine, grapes need horrible soil. They need bad soil, mineral soil, not, black dirt like Iowa. They need clay, and that's what we have here. We have clay. We have horrible soils. And that's why it's cattle country, because you can't grow crops here normally unless you highly fertilize and amend the soil. So people grow cattle. But it works great for grapes. If you put in grapevines, you can do some amazing grapevines. And at some point, I would love to grow about a half acre of a vineyard just for my own personal use and for sharing amongst the community here and allowing people to come in and just pick. Eureka Springs is fabulous with a capital F. It's fabulous. Yes. No. I say that's one thing Eureka Springs does not have, and maybe one day they will esteem to achieve such standards. They are missing the poop in the streets. Eureka Springs doesn't have. That's one thing they have that San Francisco has that Eureka Springs at this point just does not. But, there's always hope. They can aspire to that if they really want to, I guess. I've seen the Passion Play in Eureka Springs one time. Well, are you sure it was Eureka Springs? Because there's a Passion Play that's pretty famous in Branson, which isn't that far. So maybe that's what you're thinking of. I don't know about. Maybe there's a Passion Play in Eureka Springs. That would be. It's probably fabulous. I don't know. Because you never know, man. Like was it Netflix this last year had Jesus is gay? Or who did that? Who had a production where Jesus was gay in the production? You never know these days. So many fleeing the liberal states don't realize that their mistakes started 40 years ago. They think it's just recent mistakes. Yeah. There was a so I don't go on Oh, let's do this. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so I don't like all the ads that they do, but let me see if I can show you this. Oh, there I am. So the Liberty Daily. So I used to go to Drudge Report for all of my news. And I don't go to Drudge anymore because it's turned so liberal. Matt Drudge does not run the Drudge Report anymore. If you don't know, Matt Drudge does not run it. And so they sold out to a bunch of liberals, probably for an amazing amount of money. And so now I go to the Liberty Daily. If you want your news, like if you like a link aggregator or a news aggregator, this is where you should go, the Liberty Daily. I really like this place. I don't like the ads, but if you use the mobile version, it doesn't have all the ads in it. So it's a great link aggregator. And sometimes you get stuff like that you don't want to show. But if, like I said, I like the mobile version because they don't show the ads on it. So check out the Liberty Daily. And if you want real, actual news. Anyway, I saw, now I forgot where I was going with that. Let me go back to here. I saw, what was it? An article on here, and I can't remember now. I can't remember now what I was going to say. See, I get sidetracked. What were we talking about? Wine, fabulous. San Francisco, Graceland. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, check out Liberty Daily. There's good articles on there. But it was something about the election. Oh, I know what it was. It was about California flipping. Could California actually flip? And they were showing all of the crowds in places like Beverly Hills and Los Angeles, Orange County, and all these different places. And I know Orange County is supposedly pretty right-leaning anyway. But, like, they're actually considering it may not flip, but it definitely may prevent the Democrats from getting the popular vote. Trump might actually win the popular vote because he'll shave so much off of California, all the votes that people who didn't vote before voted for Hillary the last time, that this time they may vote for him and then actually not win the popular vote. So could California flip? I don't know. They're talking about it, maybe. I mean, that would be something else, man. I mean, come on. That would be something else. Anyway, Robbie Clifton says, how's the wine cellar coming? They are going to pour concrete on Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday. Pouring concrete on Wednesday, as far as I know right now. And I'm trying to think here. Yeah, Wednesday is the last time I heard. It's been raining like crazy here, and they haven't been able to pour, so they had to dig a trench out and drain all the water from the pour that, or the dig that they did do. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. I think that's going to be it tonight, guys. Going about, we're about an hour, I guess. And I thought I would, it was a play with Michael Jackson's daughter. What? Oh, you're talking about the one. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Melly Bella. Yeah, that was the one that I'd heard about. Just insane. You never know. Like I say, you never know these days. But the wine cellar's coming. The wine cellar's coming. I can't wait. I'm so excited about the wine cellar, Robbie. I got bottles, and I'm just waiting. Can't wait to get into that thing. Okay. Do you know of a good realtor for the Ozarks? No, I do not. I get that question all the time. Hey, Zach, can you keep your eye out for some land for me? I am not a realtor. I'm not the guy you need to ask. So you need to find a realtor. All right, guys. See you next time in the Homestead. And maybe we'll do an election night thing. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens on Tuesday. It might be crazy. See you next time in the Homestead. Bye.